We have a big update. The ACC gets a big win in court over Florida State. And essentially what happened in court was a North Carolina judge said, yeah, hey, this is where we're going to hear this case. We are not going to dismiss it. And as you know, Florida State and the ACC are suing each other over what essentially amounts to, hey, you're a dick. No, you're a bigger dick. Hey, let's sue each other, is what it comes down to. Florida State pretty much screwed the pooch when they allowed everybody to know that they were going to file a suit against the ACC, who proactively and before Florida State filed their case, and this is a big deal, before Florida State filed their case, the ACC sued Florida State in North Carolina court. And by essentially the rule of law, when you have two parties suing each other, whoever sues first, whoever files that case first, generally will win the jurisdiction battle. And that's exactly why it was a very pragmatic move for Jim Phillips and the ACC to file their case before Florida State could file theirs in the state of Florida. A judge in North Carolina has denied Florida State's motion pretty much across the board to dismiss the case, to announce that the ACC, was wrong in filing their case. Listen, this case all day long, as I told you back in December, should be heard in North Carolina, because whether you want to own up to it or not, or admit to it or not, this is not about Florida State and the ACC. This is an existential crisis, a crisis of existence for the ACC Conference. The ACC Conference is based in North Carolina. That's where this case should be heard. I've been saying that for months, and Florida State fan is all pissed off because they wanted this case heard in front of a favorable jurisdiction. And I am telling you, it doesn't matter where you want the case heard. It should be heard in North Carolina, because that's where the conference is headquartered. And when you are suing to end the ACC, because again, let's be brutally honest, that's what Florida State and by extension Clemson are trying to do. They're trying to end the ACC so they can get out of the grant of rights without having to pay. That's the entire conversation here. So suing the ACC, and you're filing that case second to the ACC, who filed theirs before yours, you really stood no chance the moment that the ACC conference filed that suit. I also maintain that no matter where this case is heard, Florida, Mars, although the eclipse is coming on Monday, so I'm not sure that's possible, but it doesn't matter where you hear this case, Jake. I think the ACC is on very firm ground here.
Absolutely. And I think that they've had the upper hand. They've had the higher ground the entire time so far. I mean, whether it is their argument that, the member institutions of the ACC signed the grant of rights not once but twice. So how can you say that, we had a gun to your head, or you didn't understand the contract, or whatever, like, you can't, there's no angle that way for the Florida State and Clemson situation. And I think that, this whole situation around where are we going to hold this proceeding, I think was very straightforward. And I agree, it was a pragmatic move to file first. And I think that the ACC is showing its true colors here. We're starting to understand that the ACC is very capable of defending itself and very much understands how to play the game and how to make sure that they have every opportunity to defend what is their position. And I think that that's what we need to see more of out of these conferences. I always felt like in the Pac-12 situation that the Pac-12 as a conference just had no ability to defend itself and no ability to, hold its water and really like stand up to things with schools. And that's why I think we find ourselves in a position where that conference partially burned to the ground. That's part of the reason, because the conference itself didn't operate from a strong footing. And that's what I like about this ACC situation. The ACC does not care what you think about the grant of rights. The ACC simply cares what's in the grant of rights and what that grant of rights says and what that grant of rights entitles them to. And for that reason alone, I think the ACC's got a great opportunity to not only win this, but to control the school's fate in some senses, because again, as we've talked about, the only way out of the ACC is through ESPN, is through the TV partners,
100%.
is helping to build a bigger picture for everybody else.
But I also don't believe that Florida State or Clemson filed these lawsuits to win. I believe they filed these lawsuits for leverage so that they could negotiate. I've heard that repeatedly from sources we talked to. These are all negotiating positions. And if you look at what the judge said in the ruling, the judge, Bledsoe, did grant Florida State's motion to dismiss the ACC's claim that suing the conference was a breach of fiduciary duty to the league, but kept in place the conference's claim that the school, Florida State, breached its duty to, quote, good faith and fair dealings under the ACC's constitution and bylaws. So in that ruling, I mean, this is an unequivocal win for the ACC. It's as simple as that. I think you're looking at a situation where I don't know that this is even relevant because of the changes that are going to come to the structure of college football. But I think you're looking at a situation where Florida State and Clemson and North Carolina, I think eventually will find that group of 10 to break the ACC grant of rights. I don't believe that this will be that the ACC will melt down because of a judge's gavel. No. I don't see that happening. I think these cases will likely be at least delayed until we have real clarity on where college football is going. Now, I think this plays part into the Super League conversation because I think all of this goes away with any kind of structural change to college football. And we had obviously a long conversation, a 90-minute conversation on this show yesterday about, the merits of the college football Super League. But one thing is not in question. Florida State, Clemson, and everybody else in this business knows a Super League, whatever you want to call it, there's going to be between, in my opinion, 60 and 84 teams in a college football Super League. That is going to happen.
Right.
It is not a question of if anymore. It is when. And so if you're Florida State in the ACC and Clemson, does it make a whole lot of sense to be pouring tens of millions of dollars into lawyers and legal fees to be suing each other? The answer is a pretty unequivocal no, it does not make sense.
Well, and I think you see the penalties and the price you pay for being irresponsible with your money. You see what can happen when you make poor decisions. And yeah, I do think that Florida State and Clemson are undervaluing the risk here. They're not appreciating the fact that, yeah, by the way, Clemson hasn't done anything in football for a minute. And we might want to focus on doing that before we focus on trying to burn our conference to the ground. Because if we win in football, and it doesn't even have to be a national championship, but if we do in fact win, let's say the ACC, and then we get in the college football playoff, and let's say we win one game, we're getting paid more money. And ultimately, I feel like the ACC as a conference has vision, but it's surprising to me that Clemson and Florida State don't have vision. They're more concerned about who's making more money now rather than who's going to continue to make more money when the tide turns.
Well, and the other thing that's so surprising here out of Florida State is you gave away your trade secrets here. It is shocking to me that you allowed the ACC to beat you to your court filing. Because I'm no attorney. Obviously, we've talked about that on this show. I am not an attorney. But even my non-attorney being asked knows whoever files that lawsuit first has the hammer.
Right.
And I believe it's even, I was listening to some broadcast podcast yesterday who was talking about that it is even legal rule in the state of Florida that if you have dueling parties that have filed countersuits against each other, whoever filed their claim first under Florida law has the jurisdiction, which would be North Carolina in court, North Carolina.
Yeah.
The ACC in court, North Carolina. But I don't understand why people like Florida State can't get this right. Operate in silence. You're the G in lasagna, dude. Operate in silence, my guys.
Yeah.
And that's how you get the hammer. That's how you get the upper hand. When you're telling everybody what you're doing and you're being braggadocious and we're going to court, we're going to overthrow the college football playoff. No, you're not. How did that work out? Oh, that's right. You didn't go to court and you didn't overthrow the college football playoff. I'm just curious now. Did the college football playoff provide you with all that documentation you demanded? No, they never did. Funny how that went away, didn't it? Just went away. Yep. That's the problem here. Florida State is huffing and puffing, and they are blowing their own house down because they continue to tell everybody what they're going to do, which allows the ACC to beat you to their court filing, which is just unthinkable.
Yeah, I mean, it's never seemed like Florida State and Clemson have a real strong strategy at play here. It's always felt like, hey, we just want to make a bunch of noise. We want to huff and puff, and and inevitably they're going to lose. And I think that's the road we're going down.
Yeah, I don't even know what you do with that. Yeah. I truly don't know what you do with that. All right, Giving Friday on the Monty Show. Apparently, the giving is coming in now. Maury Alvarez has sent a video.
Here in the class, donating for the kids. Oh yeah, we love the Monty Show and supporting kids.
Look at that. Maury Alvarez in the classroom donating to the Advocates on Venmo.
Stud.
That is a great start. Advocates donations. Yeah. What am I, a golf swing?
Yeah.
Advocates donations on Venmo. $1, $5, $100, whatever you have. Every penny matters. Every penny you donate to the Advocates today is going to fight childhood hunger in our communities. Please consider donating. And then there is Pootie Boy. Dakota Tubbs. Look at that. $14. He donated $14.
There you go.
And Monty Show Childhood Hunger. Let's go, Dakota.
Let's go,
appreciate you. It's coming in fast and furious, man. So we've got two already inside of 5 minutes.
Yes.
So let's go. Advocates donations. I will pick one of those. Maury sending a video already, I think, has the lead.
Put him over the edge there.
What did he write there? Monty Show Childhood Hunger. Okay. I don't hate it. Dakota Tubbs, and I appreciate it. Advocates donations. I think Maury has the lead.
Certainly.
With his classroom video.
Well, and Dakota, first team all Putin, in his message to me said that he didn't want to be entered to win. It was just for the kids. But, I wasn't about to let that fly. We need to give our boy some credit.
Okay. I like it. RJC Loaner Phone says, please forward to the Advocates. Okay, but if you want to win the $100 Amazon gift card, you got to do it on Venmo.
Got to do it on Venmo.
You got to do it on Venmo.
We will forward that money.
Absolutely. We will do that. Yeah. No doubt about it. Aaron Wilson gifted not one, but two Monty Show memberships today.
Okay, Aaron.
Aaron, appreciate you. Thank you very much for doing that.
He of $25 doll hair Amazon gift card earlier in the week.
Eric and Raleigh, do you read comments on Periscope Twitter? Well, Periscope's dead. So I don't read Periscope.
Well, I don't know.
comments.
I don't know what Twitter is either.
I've never heard of Twitter.
Yeah, I don't know what Twitter is.
He means Elon.
He means X.
Yeah, of course we do. Of course we do. Eric says, get UNC on board and the ACC will die immediately, which is not going to be easy to do.
Yeah.
Right. Daniel Dixon, who cares about the ACC sucks anyways. Exactly right.
Oh, yeah. First team all sucks.
Exactly
because
right.
It's garbage.
Exactly right. Aaron Wilson says, one of those memberships was supposed to be for the Advocates. I hit the wrong button. I care because it affects the Big 12. It does affect the Big 12 significantly. It does. Stephen Smith, hello. Good morning, my friend. Now that the ACC won its jurisdiction battle, do you think the trial will start soon? I don't think this ever goes to trial. Honest to goodness, I think this was always about leverage. This was always about trying to negotiate your way out of the grant of rights.
Yeah, 100%.
I just don't think there's any doubt about it.
They can afford to go to trial. You're really telling me that Florida State and Clemson have the extra budgetary funds to go and fight the conference.
No.
That's not what this is. This is Michigan all over again. This is a barking dog trying to get some attention, and that's what we're getting. But the reality of the situation is you look so stupid because of the situation with the grant of rights that nobody's respecting your take here of, hey, we're a victim and this is unfair. How can it be unfair when you signed it not once but twice, and you amongst the other 10 schools or whatever it is all agreed to it? Like, what do you mean that you were in a bad spot? What do you mean that you were influenced or that you were unfairly treated? Or the only thing that's unfair about this is your bad attitude about the fact that you signed a deal that's getting you paid less over the life of the deal than the SEC and the Big Ten. And that's unfortunately, that's how we do business in this country. It's not the ACC's fault as a conference that you made a silly decision. It's just not.
We don't want the rules and laws of America applied to us. We want them applied to everybody else.
Yes.
We don't want to follow the contract. We just want everybody else to follow the contract. And Steve, I think you're right. Will the ACC and FSU negotiate a settlement between them? I think that what happens here is really critical, because I also agree with Eric and Raleigh. If a favorable settlement is reached between Florida State and the ACC, what do you think North Carolina is going to do?
Yeah.
What do you think North Carolina State's going to do?
I don't think they're going to reach a favorable settlement. The ACC is not incentivized here to help at all. There's no
in any way.
And in fact, I would say if you're going to settle with these schools, you have to settle with them in a way where it hurts them. It doesn't help them. Like, you cannot allow Florida State and Clemson to leave this conference through settlement
without paying a fee.
Without paying a fee and while retaining their TV rights. Because that's the biggest piece. Think about it. If they were to allow these schools to leave the conference without paying a fee, but they couldn't keep their TV rights. So Florida State essentially is an independent with no TV rights. They cannot televise their games. A, how are you going to get the scheduling done? And B, how are you going to make money without a schedule and without a TV deal? Yeah. That's what I'm trying to understand from the perspective of Florida State and Clemson. Like, where are you going to go?
I don't disagree. RJC Loner phone, FSU poverty class of ACC. I don't know what Florida State thought was going to happen here. And we're going to talk about taxpayer dollars in sports. Do you guys understand that they are just burning through money that should be supporting students and faculty and staff at Florida State? That's all they're doing.
And by the way, this is on the heels of not making college football playoff money. Just want to point that out.
They're just burning money. They're throwing it into the kiln.
So not only did you miss out on the college football playoff, then when you missed out on it, you claimed victim and said it's unfair and this is ridiculous.
You claim victim.
Then you thought it would be a good idea to sue your own conference. And at the end of the day, all this is just going to mean you made less money. That's all this is going to mean. That you're in bad standing with the conference. You spent a bunch of money and it got you absolutely nothing except for a negative return on investment in terms of how people view you.
Yep. Aaron Wilson, they used to be good too. They did used to be good.
Yeah, and that's the sad part about it, is that Florida State is actually, from the ACC's perspective, one of the better, schools in the conference. That's the problem.
Yeah. Mike Smith says omerta, snitches get stitches. Do you guys know what omerta means? Omerta is mafioso for shut your damn mouth. You don't talk to people, man. GFC Cougs. Florida State has to be the biggest baby. Has to be. RJC Loner phone. It's a loser argument. Regardless of who files first, the ACC had the legal argument. I agree, but it's also very, very nice to drive down the street to the courthouse instead of fly down to the panhandle.
Yep.
Right? It's always better to be in your own backyard. There's no doubt that this was an unequivocal win for the ACC.
Yeah.
There's just no way to, because now that there's a hearing in Florida, in 2 weeks, I guess, now to dismiss that case. And by Florida law, you can't go forward. By rule of law in Florida, you can't go forward. You're going to have to stay that case. And I think it's going to be very difficult for Florida State to appeal this ruling.
Yes.
I think it's going to be very difficult. And I think it's also, I would note that kept in place the conference's claim. Let's see. Did grant Florida State's motion to dismiss the ACC's claim that suing the conference was a breach of fiduciary duty to the league. And he did so with prejudice, which means that the ACC cannot refile or appeal that. So that's a small victory for Florida State there. So Dakota Tubbs, Aaron Wilson needs to win. He needs more microphones. We 100% agree.
Yeah, come on, let's go.
Aaron Wilson says, yes, I'm happy with my 25 big ones I won already. Yeah, yesterday or whenever that was. Tanner Plumer, what's up? How are you? Everybody tuning in. I see everybody waking up this morning on a Giving Friday where we are working with the advocates to fight childhood hunger in our communities. They are partnered with the Murray Children's Pantry, which is a great cause. It is a great cause. The Murray Pantry takes all of their donations and they put it into feeding hungry children. So canned foods, and I've been talking to people about this. A lot of you have DM'd me about this notion that there are a lot of kids that are hungry. And I don't know how to better illustrate it than to say the statistics don't lie. Schools do not have unlimited funds to feed kids.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they did, do you know the difficulty that a fifth grader faces in saying, hey, I don't have a lunch today. I don't have a lunch yesterday or tomorrow. Hey, do you know how embarrassing that is for kids? Do you know how difficult that is? We talked about this at Christmas time. We talked about this with school supplies last year. When you don't have the basic necessities like a pencil and a piece of paper when you show up to class. Do you know how humiliating that is? Do you know how humiliating it is when everybody comes back and the teacher's like, hey, what'd you get for Christmas, Jenny? Hey, Stevie, what'd you get for Christmas? Do you know how difficult that is when you show up the first day after winter break and you're not wearing new clothes or you don't have on the fresh J's that everybody else has? That's humiliating. Right. So when we sit here and we talk about whether or not kids struggle to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day, trust me, they do. Trust me, they do. Not only does that hurt them in their emotions, do you think they're performing at their best in the classroom? Are we setting those kids up for future success? We're not. We're not. And so the advocates donations on Venmo are partnered with the Murray Children's Pantry to help fight childhood hunger in our communities. Please, $1, $5, $10. Donate today. Screenshot your Venmo. And I'm asking you today, usually on Giving Fridays, we're all about giving away gift cards and free memberships. Today, I'm asking you not to give away memberships. Do not donate memberships. Please get on Venmo and donate to the advocates. That's what I'm asking you for today on Giving Friday. I love our membership community and I want to grow our community. This is more important. Advocates donations is way more important than growing our community because they're giving that money to hungry kids. And that's what we need to do.
And by the way, I think that the whole thing about people DMing you about, are there actually a lot of kids hungry? Isn't one a lot? Like, even if it was
too
just
many.
One kid, it's a lot, too many, like it shouldn't happen. And that, I think, is the premise. And the point is that, you know, this show has, you know, hundreds of thousands of views a month in totality. If even a small percentage of you do this, it makes a huge difference.
Huge difference. Huge difference. UW fan Jim, summer is coming and the school lunches go away, but poverty does not. That's exactly right. And even if we're just providing canned foods, even if we are just providing basic nutritional items, it makes a huge difference. It does. What is a granola bar? The Hidden Valley is
Hidden Valley, yeah.
Hidden Valley granola bars. What does that mean to a kid? If you're hungry and you get a Hidden Valley granola bar, come on, man. Like, it's little stuff like that. Let's see. Uinta Placerville. I'm very thankful and blessed to be in the position I am. There are a lot of folks struggling or in pain out there. Dude, you have no idea.
Yeah.
You have no idea.
That's the hard part, too. Like, I feel like, you know, we don't even know in totality how many people struggle.
But you got it. There's nothing wrong with being insular inside of, hey, I don't struggle. I don't this. I know that I'm going to have whole grain oats, a solid, nutritious breakfast today. There's nothing wrong with knowing that. There's nothing wrong with feeling good about that. But when we are the 1% in the world, and most of the people that watch this show do pretty well, when we are the 1% in this world, there is something wrong with saying, yeah, kids aren't hungry. They get fed at school. Trust me when I say they don't.
Yeah.
Trust me when I say they don't. Dude.
How's the
Good
camera,
morning,
bud?
Gary. Gary got a new camera. Speaking of the 1%. I'm kidding. Stephen Smith, since Florida State lost the jurisdiction battle, Clemson will also lose the jurisdiction battle in a suit they filed against the ACC, correct? I don't believe that that's the case. You're going to, all of these decisions will be made individually.
Because technically, I don't know how that would be viewed, I guess. See, this is where you need legalese. You need legal help because, again, if they're treated separately, which I would assume they would be, but if they're treated separately, then technically Clemson would have filed first in their situation.
I believe Clemson did file first.
Yeah.
I don't know the law in South Carolina, so I don't want to speak out of turn.
You know, the only question that I would have is, and I'm sure we'll get clarity at some point, but you know, since Clemson is essentially riding the coattails of the Florida State, suit, they're kind of joining, if you will.
Yeah.
Would they be viewed as, together, or it just is? Yeah. You just have to get someone who knows that. But I would assume that they're treated separately on the surface.
On the merits of their suits, I would assume that. Dakota Tubb says, dude, welcome to Giving Friday, you casuals. Yes, please hit the like button. That helps the channel grow. Aaron Wilson, I've had a lot of struggles since my dad died, but things are getting better. The show has helped a ton. Yes, Aaron, you are battling and battling well, my friend. Tanner Plummer, the 1%. Who are you, Bernie Sanders? Good old feel the burn. Remember that whole thing?
Yeah.
Bernie biker gangs. Seriously, if you're just tuning into the show, we're talking about a ruling in North Carolina that gives the ACC a big win in court. Ultimately, what do you think happens here?
I think they lose both cases, and I think that if they win, they're in danger of being in a really bad position as a university. I think that if you leave a conference, there's no going back. You don't get to walk out the door and then 3 months later say we couldn't find a home, take us back. That's not how it works. And so,
well,
to me, I it's all fine and dandy that you want to leave the conference, but I still maintain that the baggage of leaving a conference is not being appreciated by these two. Again, where are you going to get a TV deal? Where are you going to get scheduling? And frankly, how is it that you're going to come out whole and then some? Because if you're going to leave a conference, you damn well better have a plan for how to recoup that money plus some, or else what's the point? Because that's the genesis of this whole thing. Hey, we're not making the money that we could be or should be in a different conference. But the only problem with that is it's not as easy as just, the ACC's in this office. Yeah, let's walk out of that office and come down here to the Big Ten.
Right.
It's not that easy. And so when you start to think about where college football specifically is going, yes, of course, Florida State and Clemson would be in the Super League, 100%, no doubt about it. Check that box. But I'm wondering if, let's say they were to leave the conference, if you happen to be independent when that Super League is formed, are you telling me you're not at more risk of not being in the Super League because of your independence and because of your TV deal situation? You can't tell me that helps your case.
I'm curious how this court case impacts realignment's timeline. I mean, because there was all this nonsense about, Florida State's going independent. No, they're not. You don't leave the ACC to go independent, right? So I think we've heard a lot of storytelling.
Yeah.
And I don't think anybody knows exactly how this will play out. If Florida State loses time after time, I have to assume that at some point and I know it's happening, but at what point does Notre Dame make a move? At what point does Notre Dame get into the ACC fight? Because with Jim Swarbrick, the former athletic director, now out of the picture every day more and more, the voice in the leadership at Notre Dame is going to change. And my question is, does Notre Dame vote to break the conference at any point in this argument? I think they could. Not because they need a football home, but because they're better off with all their other sports in the Big Ten. And I think the Big Ten would happily welcome them.
Yeah.
But what does it take to move North Carolina and Duke? Because I think that's the center of power in the ACC. What does it take to move them? We reported exclusively on this show that Duke is a top target of Brett Yormark in the Big 12. And they have begun the process of reaching out to Duke. I would assume by now 10 days has passed, something has happened.
Mm-hmm.
I would assume that Brett Yormark in the Big 12 have reached out to Virginia, Louisville, North Carolina, Duke. I mean, Brett Yormark is not somebody who is just going to stand by and watch this happen around him.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen. So I think there is a lot of stuff behind the scenes that we don't know about. And so I'm curious, how do these rulings, because there is no ruling that happens like this of this magnitude. This was a massive loss for Florida State. I don't believe they were ever in position to win this appeal, as I told you, these dismissals. I don't believe that they ever had a legal foot to stand on to get these dismissals done. I also don't believe they have a legal foot to stand on when it comes to winning this case. They do not. They got beat at every turn here by the ACC. They've looked foolish by trying to, put this out and speak it into existence that the ACC is, damaging their brand. And it doesn't matter. You have a rock solid contract that you signed.
Yeah.
A rock solid contract. And to their credit, I'd make the argument about SMU and Stanford and Cal damaging the brand and lowering the value of the conference. Sure, that is probably the only real argument that you have. I think it is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, and I think the situation will play itself out. And I think that Florida State and Clemson are going to come out on the wrong side of it. And I think there's potential. And I would even go as far as to say, I think there's likelihood that when this is all said and done, Florida State and Clemson are going to be very quiet. And I think I only say that because you're not going to have anywhere to go with it. You're not going to have just think about what's after this, for Florida State and Clemson, where do you go?
But Jake, the eclipse is on Monday.
Well,
and according to some, the world's going to end on midday Monday.
And it's very possible. And, if the world ends, it ends, but I'm not here for that nonsense.
Yeah.
Not here for it.
I agree with you. Let's see. Calvin sent me a DM on Instagram. And he said, I don't want a shout out. I just wanted you to know I donated to the on Venmo to the Advocates. Let's go, Calvin. I appreciate you. You're getting a shout out anyway. It is, to me, this is, and we got another one.
We did.
Look at that. I will put that up. Thank you to everybody who is donating on Venmo to the Advocates today. Look at that. RJC Loaner Phone, Venmoed $50. Now screenshot, send where? Send it to Jake. SLC Jake.
JK.
JK. SLC Jake.
JK.
Is where you find Jake on Instagram. So send it to Jake. And today somebody.
Giggity.
Whoa. Look at Giggity. Hooking it up. Navy Federal Credit Union. Hello. Love it. Giggity, thank you very much.
Appreciate you, bro.
Always appreciate you. Giggity, a longtime supporter of this show. Thank you, Calvin. Thank you, RJC Loaner Phone. Giving Friday here on the Monty Show. If you're just tuning in, we are working with the Advocates. Our great friends and partners at the Advocates. The best injury attorneys in the business, theadvocates.com, where you can chat with an injury attorney 24/7, 365. It won't cost you a dime at theadvocates.com. Everything from bicycle accidents, slips and falls. Almost got murked by a SUV last night on the way home from one of the most difficult golf lessons I've ever taken.
Got murked.
Yeah, it was not good. The freeway is the wild west
the
out
freeway.
here.
It's called the freeway for a reason.
If you get in a car accident, if you get hit by a semi truck, which we talked about over the holidays, hey, if you get hurt at work, heavens to Betsy, you get hurt at work today. The Advocates at theadvocates.com, the workers' comp workplace injury experts. where you never pay the advocates out of pocket. You don't pay the advocates unless and until they win your case. Donate to them on Venmo because they are working with the Murray Children's Pantry to fight childhood hunger in our country. It is Giving Friday. Please do not donate memberships to the show today. And I love you, Aaron Wilson, and I love everybody that's donated memberships. We want that. We want that money to go to kids who are battling their next meal, who don't know where their next meal is coming from. That's what today is all about. Advocates donations, 100% of your donations go directly to the advocates who give that money to the Murray Children's Pantry. Hook it up, Giving Friday right here on the Monty Show. Let's see. Who else is in this morning? Stephen Smith. If the ACC wins both suits, would the Big 12 be in trouble for trying to reach out to Duke and other? It doesn't work that way. It's not like Brett Yormark was like, hey, Coach K.
Hey, Monty.
You are doing what took place in the Pac-12 when everybody said, hey, the hacks on YouTube don't know shit about shit. What did I tell you? That BYU, Tom Homo, the people in Provo were working on behalf of the Big 12 to open lines of communication with Utah. And they did. And it made a big difference. That's the way you form relationships. You're not having formal conversations with North Carolina, with Duke, you're back channeling. And even if you were having formal conversations, what law did you break? That's the nature of business in college sports now. Fortunately or unfortunately, that's the nature of college sports.
Yeah.
We get another one.
We get another one.
We like it.
One.
Tanner Plummer, independent equals irrelevance unless you're Notre Dame. And Notre Dame has just been at it, you guys, for so long.
Yeah, they're definitely a different cut, dude.
Right? I mean, I don't think, and Tanner, you're not wrong. You're exactly right. But it's because Notre Dame, I believe Notre Dame was independent before Jesus was, resurrected and the Romans were in power.
In God's name,
I could be wrong.
And likeness.
I could be wrong. I
don't think you are.
Let's see.
OG Gary
with an $18 donation. I love it.
$18
From the Monty Show for the kids. MONNY.
Hey guys.
Wait. Notice MONNY. MONNY.
Hey, Monty.
Hey, Monty. OG Gary, love you, buddy. Thank you very much.
That's funny.
When are we going to beat your ass in golf?
Yeah, dude. When do you want to golf?
Do you guys take golf lessons? Our guy Darren Ingram up at Canyons Golf is our golf instructor. He's our swing coach.
Yeah.
We took a lesson last night that it is so difficult to learn. You know how to hit a golf ball until you take a lesson with a guy that's a PGA professional and you learn how to hit a golf ball.
Dude.
And then you realize you don't know any singular point of hitting a golf ball.
You're working your ass off trying to figure out the things he's teaching you.
Oh,
and then you do it like once.
Oh, man.
You do it the first time after like 50 tries and the ball just like goes a mile and you're like, bro, what just happened?
Wild. Absolutely wild.
Like I'm talking about my guy over here compressing the ball to a point where he was like 200 yards on his 8-iron with a range ball.
Wild. Love everybody watching the show. We're at about 600 viewers total. Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Make sure you guys hit the like button, please. Let's see. Eric and Raleigh says, currently 113 people in this chat, but only 48 likes. The hell.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Yeah, I'm happy to do it. There's 110 people watching live. We're at 51 likes. I will give you 5 minutes to get this show to 100 likes. I'll give away a $25 Amazon gift card.
Dude, that's not even a lot to ask, man.
That's
Come
it.
on.
Hook it up. It's Giving Friday. We want to give to you. Somebody is going to win a $100 Amazon gift card in about an hour from now.
A hundo.
Because you donated to the advocates on Venmo. Right? And if you look at the donations, I love it. Every penny matters. $14. Look at that. $100. $18. $50 from RJC Loaner Phone, right? One of them is going to win a $100 Amazon gift card today. Donate 20, get a $100 Amazon gift card. That's an $80 profit. And the kids are getting food for it. I love it. Mike Smith. Comment dump. Dakota Tubbs. Tanner is soaked 24/7, 365. Signed Little Jizzy. I like it. I can't like from my iPhone. Why? because it's broken. You're on a loaner phone.
See
what I did there?
Do you still have? I just want verification. We still have the screenshot? I just want to make sure that we have documentation around the loanership program.
I believe we do. Isn't this it? We do not offer loaner phones during
so
repairs.
he must not have a loaner iPhone.
Good call. Sorry about that. I don't know if you know this, RJ. Never mind.
You're never living it down.
Chad. What? Chad Carter.
Dude.
Make 2K chill on the purple drink, bro.
Where is Caps Lock Friday?
And what's the breaking news that you were giving us on the morning program? You said in the pre-show comments you were going to break news. I want it. I need it. San Diego State, Glenn. I'm sure Monty and Jake will get to this later, but the A's are truly dead to me as of yesterday. Yeah, they moved to Sacramento starting next year.
The Sacramento A Kings?
Excuse me. It's the West Sacramento Athletics, please.
My bad. Sorry.
Now, having
guys.
been on the radio, #1 rated radio show in Sacramento.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Monty after midnight.
Right.
Monty till midnight. I can't remember what we called it. It was 2000 that I was there. Having thrown out the first pitch for the Sacramento River Cats, the AAA affiliate of your San Francisco Giants. That's a great ballpark, and I think it is a brilliant solution by the never going to be Oakland A's again.
Well, no, you mean never going to be Salt Lake A's.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ryan Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. All right, let's see. Lil Jizzy, is Tanner still the super soaker? Forever. Wow. Do you guys still advertise the day trading group? Yesterday was a great day for day trading. If you were going to short after lunch, dude.
No.
What's the matter?
Tanner, bro, dude. Don't Venmo. Tanner just Venmo'd me his money instead of Venmoing the Advocates. Tanner, dude.
Play the music. Tanner, this is not...
Dude, we're going to have to go in on you now.
Tanner?
Like, what am I supposed to do with this? What the hell am I supposed to do with this?
Buy me lunch? You guys.
Like, guy, this
no, in all
is
seriousness.
not difficult.
Well, we can pass it on, but we want you to Venmo the Advocates because it costs money. There's fees involved in Venmoing, so less money. What happened?
Okay. Bro, you Venmo'd my personal Venmo account. You didn't even do the show's account, dude. You sent it to my personal account.
Hey, I understand prophylactics are
Brother,
expensive.
Dude.
Prophylactics are expensive. I get it.
Dude.
Love you, Tanner. It is the thought that counts.
Yes.
This is the Venmo.
Yes.
Right here. Advocates donations, you guys. Today is Giving Friday. Advocates donations. If you're on Facebook, if you're on Twitter. And hey, I just want to shout out everybody on Twitter. Our show is doing very well on Twitter. We live stream it separately on Twitter. If you're on Facebook or Twitter, please come to YouTube and subscribe to the show. Are we over? We're very close to a milestone of 86,000 subscribers on YouTube. I feel like we are rocketing towards 100,000.
We are. 100% we are.
Let's see. Is this Tanner's?
Yes, it is.
Tanner's donation. Okay. Let's see. But if you're on Twitter or Facebook, please consider coming over to YouTube, hitting subscribe. Love that you guys watch on Twitter. Thank you so much for that. Tanner Plummer, you're a stud, dude. Appreciate you, man. Hope that LAFC makes your dreams come true. And hope that the LA Galaxy I'm just being a jerk now. Go Portland Timbers. Like, I can't remember the Seattle Sounders.
The Seattle A's.
The Seattle Athletics. I hope they make your dreams come true. Tanner, you're amazing. You're amazing. And look at this. You and Tanner are friends now. Payment between friends.
Wow.
Look at that.
Okay,
Tanner.
James.
At Tanner. Yeah. What do you guys necking? You guys necking? Tanner. Love you, dude.
Yeah,
Thank
appreciate you, bro. Thank you.
Appreciate you very much, man. Thank you, everybody that's donating right here. Advocates donations. When you make your donation on Venmo, take a screenshot, send it to Jake, SLC Jake on Instagram. Take a screenshot of your Venmo that you sent to Advocates donations and send it to Jake on Instagram. SLC Jake.
Yes.
SLC Jake.
Yes.
And you'll be entered to win a $100 Amazon gift card. Unless you're Dakota Tubbs and you've got Putin money and you don't want to be entered to win.
Yeah.
You know. Let's see. Chad Carter. Can I get an Amazon card today? The dog we rescued from an abuser literally number 2'd all over the carpet. My dog is, you guys may know this, that my dog died. One of my dogs passed about 6 weeks ago.
Right.
And I had 2 dogs. My remaining dog, Django is his name, is dealing with a back injury. He's a little guy. He's about 20 pounds. He's got a hinge joint for his back. He jumped off my bed the other day and just fucked himself up some kind of way. And he is limping around like he is older than Mike Smith, whose birthday is Monday.
Yes.
It is wild to me. So we're trying to do that. But hey, Chad, DM Jake, I'll give you a $25 Amazon gift card.
Only if we get a Caps Lock Friday take, though.
Because we didn't get to 100 likes.
Yeah.
We have 2 minutes. We have 2 minutes. Okay? We're at 67 likes. There's 114 people watching. Hit the like button. If we get to 100, that's only 33. We get to 100 in the next 7 minutes. That's all you have to do. That's all you have to do. And we should be good to go. That's Tanner's. My bad. I need to
Yeah, I have a couple I'm sending you here.
Okay.
There's a third one here that I've just sent you that actually has a take inside the Venmo.
It's got a take. Oh boy.
Inside the Venmo message.
Boys, that's going to put you in a good spot. That's going to put you in a good spot. All right, let's go here. A take inside the Venmo.
Yes.
All right, so there is.
How much was that?
$10.
That's Lee Jensen.
Lee Jensen, you stud. Good to
Yes.
see you, Lee Jensen.
Yes.
There's Tanner. I need to go the other way. The Advocates. Let's see.
Should be. I think the banner's blocking. I think it's right at the bottom. The banner's blocking. Clear all banners.
Clear all banners.
It's in his message.
Clear all banners. Children's hunger. Get off my Clemson Tigers nuts.
That is Toby Lawson.
Get off my Clemson Tigers nuts.
Yes.
Get off my Clemson Tigers nuts. That's fucking phenomenal, dude.
It's probably different than what you're thinking, though.
I
We built
needed
this
that.
program on NIL.
Stay hard. I needed that so desperately.